Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Totally Magic. Got a great little trick for you, impromptu. If you've never been here before, we are a channel dedicated to the hobbyist and amateur magician. We do mainly card tricks, although in the past we have done a couple of coin tricks and ESP mentalism, but it's mainly card magic. If you haven't done so already, maybe hit subscribe and like and share and the notification bell to be reminded of new videos every week. Anyway, on to today's card trick, regular deck of cards. Now, I want you to shuffle and examine the cards. So the spectator will shuffle the cards and have a look at them, make sure they're just regular cards, because they are. Now, have you ever noticed that when a magician gets someone to choose a card, they always do it face down? The problem with that is you never get to see the type of card you're choosing, whether it's a high or low card, a picture or spot card. I'm going to be slightly different. I'm going to actually allow you to see the cards as you choose them. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I want you to go for a card that really pops, really stands out from the crowd, is a kind of wow card, bright, colourful, but you make the decision. It's what pops for you. So if I look away and just spread the cards in front of you, just reach in and grab any card. Now the spectator has a free choice of any of the cards, so he can pull out any card that he sees. He pulls that out. I look back around and say to him, remember your card, show it to a few friends as well, so they will remember the card that they've chosen. And I'll say, just return it to the pack. Now they will put it back in the pack as we continue. Now, have you ever noticed that magicians will often lose your card by cutting it a few times and maybe even giving it a quick shuffle? The problem with that is you never know how thorough I'm shuffling the cards. I want you to shuffle the cards instead, so you lose the card, but do a proper shuffle like this. Now they will take the cards and give the cards a mix. Happy with that? Totally lost somewhere in the pack. Now let me tell you a story about a friend of mine. He's a gambler, I'm a magician. If he was to do this card trick, he would take a chance on finding your chosen card, but not just one chance. A gambler normally needs a few chances. You see, my friend takes a chance on life in general. He takes a chance on love, and certainly when it comes to cards as well. So he would go through the deck and he would look for what he believes is the card that you selected. So he'll go through and find the card that you picked. In fact, not just one chance, but 4 chances. So he makes 4 choices, takes 4 chances. Now, of course, it could be this one, it could be this one, or this one. 1, 2, 3, 4 chances. Now he's not here to reveal them, but I will. He made a chance on 4 cards. One of these he believes is your card. Now what I'm going to do is to flash these cards quickly, and I just want you to see if your card is there. Now if you chose one that really popped, it will stand out from the others. So are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. 4 cards is your card there. It's not. He didn't get it right. Well, he's not a magician. I am a magician. You see, if I was doing this, although this card or this card isn't your card, or even this one or this one here, I could do something like this. Take the 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just a little click. And I could cause one card to flip face down. Now that is an impressive trick, and that's because I'm a magician, not a real magician. You see, if I was a real magician, I could do 2 things. Cause a card to flip over, but also get it to change. You see, that card has now changed. What was the card you picked? The King of Diamonds? And there it is there, the King of Diamonds. Now here's a tutorial for this particular impromptu trick. It is impromptu, you can borrow the cards, there's no pre-setting of the deck. Here's how it works. It does require one move, which is the ELMSLEY count. If you've never come across this before, I will put a link in the description below this video where you can click on and go and watch a short tutorial for this. If you've never learned the ELMSLEY count, as a beginner, I would highly recommend that's one sleight you do learn. It'll only take you half an hour to get the idea behind it and then practice more over time. But let me show you what we're going to do. The cards are shuffled by the spectator. They examine them. Now they're going to make a choice of any card. This doesn't matter which card they pick. Now I talk about picking a card that really pops or stands out because it's great if they can pick a picture card, but it's not a requirement. Okay, so you say to them about picking a card that stands out from a distance, really pops. They normally go for a high value card or a picture card or an ace. So as you hold the cards up to them, just turn your head away as you then spread the cards like this. Now they reach in and grab a card. Now let's say that they did pick the Jack of Diamonds. Okay, so that's the card they picked, but they can pick any card. Now they have picked a red card. Okay, if they pick a black card, that's still possible, but I'll explain what I would do. So they pick a card. Get them to drop it back in. Now I leave this bit up to you. Basically you've got to control that card to the top. So you can either just get them to put it back, hold a break, put the other cards on top, and then just do a simple cut like that to control it to the top. Simple as. I like to control it to the top because I can then do a shuffle like this to work it to the bottom. Now for this trick, you've got to know what card they picked. Just try and find out what the card is. It doesn't matter where it is, whatever method you've got. Maybe you're using marked cards, but then it's not really impromptu. But if you can control it to the bottom, and the reason I'm saying that is because as I say to them, magicians tend to shuffle the cards, but you never know if they're doing a thorough shuffle. So as I go to hand them the cards, I'm glimpsing the bottom card. All I need to know for the rest of the trick is which card they picked. So I just hand them the card and say, look, it'd be better if you shuffle the cards, and then I do this to demonstrate, and then give them the cards. So at this point, everything seems clean. They've chosen a card, you know what that card is, and they've actually shuffled them. Now, when you take the cards back, you then talk about the 4 chances. Now, I'll let you decide what sort of routine you do, but I think the gambler take a chance on love and life and cards is quite a good one. And then he has 4 chances. So what you're going to do, I know that the card is the Jack of Diamonds, so I'm going to go through, and while I'm looking for the Jack, I'm also going to pick out 3 other cards. Now there are ones in particular. Let me just bring these up. And the Jack of Diamonds, I think it was, there it is there. So they're the 4 chances that I've actually picked out. Why have I picked these? Well, I'm about to do an ELMSLEY count. Now, anyone that knows an ELMSLEY count will know that when you show the cards, one card gets shown twice. All right. Now, in a live situation, this would go unnoticed. People only spot it since we've had the invention of video, where you can watch it again, slow motion, freeze frame, and everything like that. But in the real world, it would go unnoticed. So I've picked out, because they picked a red card, I tend to use a 9 and 2 8s, the black ones on there. Now, if they had chosen a black card, like the King of Clubs or the Jack of Spades, I would then pick 3 red cards, okay, of these values. Now, I've gone for these because I think if you've got many spots, then it goes unnoticed that one card gets shown twice. That's just my personal view. So I might bring up the 8s, the 7s, the 9s or 10s, something like that. But I tend to always go for a 9 and 2 8s. So with that in mind, I now want to get these onto the top of the pack in the correct order for the next move, the ELMSLEY count. I take out the 9, put that to the top. I then take out one of the 8s, then the jack, and then the 8. So I've now got the 4 cards on top of the pack, which I can then remove. The order when I flip these face up to perform an ELMSLEY count are all set. We've got a 9, 8, their card, and another 8. Then I perform an ELMSLEY count, and I talk about, I'm going to flash the cards to you. Now, if they chose a card that pops, it'll stand out from the crowd. So as you do this, you then just do 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm doing an ELMSLEY count at this point. Okay, so an ELMSLEY count. Now, they wouldn't have seen their card. I turn the packet over. They'll say they didn't see their card. So you then move on to the next phase where you just talk and say, so none of these cards were your cards. And I pull out the bottom card face up. I pull the next bottom card out face up. And then I flip the whole packet over to show this third one. Now, this is where you have to do a little move. It's one of these moves that's very blatant and in their face, but you'll get away with it, trust me. I can't remove this card because it'll flash their chosen card. So as I peel this off, I flip the other cards over and then put it on there and saying it wasn't here. Now the spectator's seen 4 black cards. They're not going to notice the values. They're just confirming that their card isn't there. What I've done is I'm setting up for an ELMSLEY count. Now this top card I put to the back like this. So I'm all ready for an ELMSLEY count, which I'll do, and I'll just count 1, 2, 3, 4. They don't see anything untoward. They don't see the face down card. You do a bit of magic and then do another ELMSLEY count, and one card turns face down. You can pull that out and reveal it as so. Play it how you think on here. Now I did come up with a way of doing this ending slightly different. Let me just go through this alternative. Now I know a lot of you are going to be paranoid that the spectator is going to notice when you're only showing 3 cards, 2 cards, flipping over a certain card. Trust me, in the real world they don't. On video you will, but in the real world, when everything's going by quickly, you're entertaining them, eye contact, then they just don't notice. Okay, so let me show you an alternative of how this can look a much stronger effect, but I leave it up to you. So here's the alternative ending. With the cards set ready for an ELMSLEY count, you perform that first ELMSLEY count to show that their card isn't there. You flip the cards face down. Now this time you're going to turn the first card over and the second card as you're talking, and then you carry on with the next part of the routine. Now I know you've only shown 2 cards turned face up. Trust me, the spectators will not say anything. You're busy in conversation, and this is why I said to you, this won't work on video. You need that interaction, that live event, the eye contact, the misdirection, all of that makes for a great trick. So once you've done this, you can do the ELMSLEY count to say that you're a magician, and one card turns face down. But this is the beauty of it. I can pull this out and turn it over to show that it's just a regular one of these cards. And I put it to the back, and I now perform another ELMSLEY count to show that the 4 black cards are face up. Now you say, but if I was a real magician, not just a magician, I would do this. And you do another ELMSLEY count, and it looks like it's turned face down again, but this time it changes into their card. Everything is clean and can be examined. Okay, so that's how that version works. Everything I've just shown you there is based around the ELMSLEY count. As I said, do watch the tutorial, but have a little play around with that. I think it's a great trick, impromptu, no setup. The spectator shuffles a deck, they choose a card, they return it, they shuffle it to lose it. You then pick out 4 cards which initially don't contain their card, but you perform some magic and their card suddenly flips face over and turns out to be their card. That's it. It's a great quick effect. Till next time, practice and enjoy.